archaeology. Get out of there, Dan!
You think people are enjoying this intro?
Well, hopefully. All the one person who's watching.
No, there's 3 people watching it.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Neat.
Hey, there we are. Is that official? Is that live?
Yeah.
Nice. I'm just getting the intro now because lag. So there you go. Richie, what show is this?
This is You Call This Archaeology.
Episode 32.
Yeah.
All right.
I was going to say on both Facebook Live and on Happy Archaeology Fun Time eventually.
Eventually. Nice.
Ooh, neat. My God,
All
it seems like so long since I've been up and down that road.
Yeah?
395.
I'm going to turn your gain down just a little bit. You're peaking a little high.
Oh, I see that now.
All
Unless
right.
I'm reading that meter wrong.
Yeah, but we do sound good.
Oh, we're going to have this issue again today?
Nice, nice.
Interesting.
Okay, well, thanks a lot to everybody who watched our live broadcast from the Society for California Archaeology meetings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was pretty good.
Yeah, that was really fun.
Educational from every standpoint.
I know, and I've gone to conferences before and recorded stuff, not like in a booth. Oh my God. Run it the other direction. Yeah.
All right. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well.
Yeah, you might have to unplug the mic and tighten it back up.
Ah, gotcha.
Yeah. Richie's going to go away for a minute while we figure this out.
Oh, whoops. I always forget the,
Yeah, so anyway, I've recorded at conferences before. Really, I just walk around and get interviews and stuff. And
But that was more fun that way.
yeah, no, I totally agree. I loved having the booth. I loved having a place to do that and bring people in. You know, it lends us a little bit more credibility.
I feel like it's gonna break one day.
Nah, it's just a screw, so no big deal. Make sure you tighten it enough.
Yeah, it's clockwise, right?
Yeah, so don't bend it there. You see him behind the scenes right now in the APN, folks. Actually, this isn't our studio. We just use this studio, but most of that's my gear. Anyway.
Help land back.
I know. I'm sure you are. Anyway, yeah, so we were able to do live shows using the DJI Osmo Mobile, which was really great.
Yeah.
That was really fun. And we'll work on better audio for that. I'm a total moron in that. I actually have a cable that I think... Do I have that? Yes, because I was thinking about this the other day. So,
yeah,
I have a cable that I can plug into the bottom of my iPhone. A dongle, basically, where I can plug in the audio interface that I have, the H6, and then use the microphones. And usually you can't do that on the Osmo if you're using the back camera, because the way the Osmo Mobile 1 is set up, the back camera doesn't work if you flip your phone around and you have access to that port. You have to have the port jammed into this spot where it doesn't allow you to plug anything in. Totally worthless design. This is why they redesigned it for the new one. However, we were using the front camera.
Yeah.
So all I had to do was flip the phone around, and I would have access to that port, and we probably could have plugged the mics in, and then Facebook Live with real mics.
Too late.
Lessons learned. All right, so that's it for that. Anyway, the audio that we recorded on most of those, there's pictures up on our Ark Podnet Instagram feed, so go check that out. And Richie's got some up on his as well.
Yeah.
And so go check those out. But those interviews are probably going to run in an episode of the CRM Art podcast. A lot of it was CRM archaeology related in some way, and I think I want to throw them all into one show.
Well, you did. Thank God. How old was that guy to be the president of the SCA for like 40 years ago?
Yeah, he said he was president. The Paul Chase. We interviewed Dr. Paul Chase. He was president of the SCA in 1976. I didn't tell him that I was one when he was president.
He's probably used to that. Mm-hmm. He actually handed me a copy of Wait, was he handing you a copy of his paper or something?
Yeah, his paper and some other stuff he wrote about the Presidio Heritage Trust that he's part of and trying to get promoted. Because the 250-year anniversary of the founding of San Diego will be next year. So, yeah, looking forward to that. I told him, listen, I mean, we might lose contact, we probably will, but I told him I'd love to come down and do some recording from there.
Oh, do it.
Yeah, that'd be really fun. This is one reason we need lots of members. arcpodnet.com/members, because I want to be able to, not just me, I mean, I'm doing a lot of stuff. I can't afford to travel all the time, but I want to be able to send somebody, a representative of the APN, to a lot of different events around the country and record.
Oh my God, Tristan. No.
I know. Well, Tristan can do the UK. You know, he can do the UK. So
fly in first class.
Yeah, so everybody listening to this will buy 17,000 pro memberships, then we can afford that. So yeah, there you go.
But I actually am like check. You should keep a watch on the APN social media feeds as soon as we get all the passwords sorted out.
Yeah, I've got. There's actually 3 of us running the Ark Podnet Twitter feed now. Myself, which I admittedly do a whole lot with it. And then there's Tristan, who's got some automated stuff running, and he does make a few posts as well. And then Richie started hitting it hot and heavy this week with some great graphics and really promoting out the membership and some other stuff and trying to be fun and doing it. Rather than me just going in there and say, hey, can you send us money and become a member? No, he's trying to do it the fun way. So, anyway, we were mentioning before the show, and how I was just telling somebody actually today when we were running that booth at the Society for California Archaeology meeting. Now, this is technically like a regional or state archaeology meeting, so they're usually pretty small.
But it's a big state.
But this is a big state, and there's a lot of people that go. That being said, it's your typical spread of age ranges, I think. There are some people in the middle, like myself and a few others, but there's a lot of people that are really young and a lot of people that are really old. And that's kind of how it goes, right? I mean, that's there's no bell curve. It's the opposite, it's the inverted bell curve for age. But
and a lot of people looking for work.
Yeah, so I had 2 things related to podcasts that kind of shocked me as many times as it happened. One was from the older people. It was like, "What's a podcast?" So I had to explain to them what a podcast was, which was great. And with at least 2 of them that I can remember, they handed me their phone, and I went in and subscribed to a few podcasts for them. I don't know if they'll ever be able to find those again, but at least I subscribed, and somebody else is downloading them. And then on the other side of the coin, a shockingly high number of people, and I don't want to sound egotistical when we say this, but I always feel like we're all over social media and we're getting tons of people listening, and yet there's still quite a few people that don't know we exist.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's partially our fault, but also, I want people when they hear these things to share it out. If it's valuable information for you, don't share these out. Go to Richie's YouTube page and share those out. Yeah. That being said, when you hear an episode you like, let's say you're listening in your car or whatever, on a site or whatever, come back to the Facebook page, find that episode, you can search for it, find that episode, and share it from that Facebook page for the Ark Podnet over to your personal feed or wherever you want to share it.
Some podcast apps don't have a share button, because I was actually listening to a podcast on the way here.
Yeah.
Where this dude was a Jordan Harbinger show, and the guest he had on says, the snooze button is killing your dreams.
I remember that.
Yeah,
I heard that one. Yes.
Yeah, and I wanted to share it from Stitcher, but there's no share button.
Stitcher's useless. Downcast, the one I use, and I know Apple does it too.
Yeah.
You can share, and you can share straight to Facebook.
Yeah.
However, that shares right to. Here's what I want though. I mean, do that, sure, if you can, and you don't want to forget. But if you remember, go to the APN Facebook page and share from there as well, or in addition to, or instead of. Because that helps our metrics and understanding of who's seeing what we're doing. Yeah. So we know where to focus our energy and our efforts. So, by the way, if you are listening to this, the live number I've found is not exactly accurate.
Oh, it's not?
No, it's never accurate. Because it says who's watching now, but then there's more people than it lists as watching now. So, I don't know what the hell's going on. But if you're there, give us a like, give us a thumbs up, and throw a question in the chat or say hi.
Woohoo.
So we know you're watching. But anyway, so I had a shockingly high number of people come up to the recording booth there, or our booth, and say, so I listened to podcasts and I had no idea there were archaeology podcasts.
See?
Yeah. So I'm going to get rid of this pop filter because it's just in my face.
Oh, and we now know that we're on Player FM.
Yeah, apparently we're on Player FM. Yeah, I'd heard of Player FM, and I think somebody sent me an email from there at some point, but Player FM is an aggregator like a lot of the podcast players are out there. They troll iTunes basically, and they give you a different interface to listen to podcasts. They do different things as well, but that's one of the things they do.
I bet it's more Android friendly. I might be wrong.
It probably is. Who knows? I don't really know. But Player FM, somebody was like, "Oh, are your podcasts on there?" I was like, "I don't know. Search for them," and sure enough, we were there. So, I've heard we're on a number of different podcast services because they aggregate podcasts together. We don't have to do anything to be on those. If you're listening to a certain podcast service and you can't find our shows, let me know.
That's probably Spotify.
It's Spotify. Our applications are in, and they've been in for months. Listen, if somebody wants to sponsor, it's $5 a show. We have about 13 active shows.
Yeah.
If somebody wants to sponsor every single one of those shows at $5 a month, directly, I'll put them on Spotify. Because that's what a Spotify account costs. They don't have support for networks yet, and we just can't afford the recurring cost. And honestly, I'm not going to do it unless we can put every show on Spotify or on Libsyn. That's where we need to go.
Oh,
so
wait, what's Libsyn though?
Libsyn is a podcast host that has amazing metrics, and I had the CRM Archaeology podcast on there for a year just to try it out.
Yeah.
And I was paying for their high-end account, which is about $20 a month. And I ended up getting rid of it because I couldn't afford that for all the shows. And if I couldn't have all the shows giving me the same metrics, because they're all in one spot right now, and I'd have to move the feeds over to Libsyn. And the reason we brought up Libsyn is because Libsyn and another one called Podbean, they have really close ties with Spotify, and pretty much like one of my clients, Justin Hertz, the Just Hertz So Good show. Check it out. It's pretty great. And I'm not into basketball, but if you're into basketball, he had on a guest last night, and I posted the episode last night because I guess the tournament starts like tomorrow or something, the March Madness tournament.
Oh,
but
yeah, it does.
He's got a guy who's heavily into betting, sports betting and stuff like that, and they just broke down the brackets. Again, way over my head. I don't know anything about all that stuff, but if you're into it, check him out. It sounded like he had pretty good predictions.
Oh.
So, but anyway.
I thought it started on the 11th. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't know. I thought he said it started Thursday. I could be wrong, too. I'm not really sure.
Interesting.
So, I guess there were some teams playing. It's almost like a wild card kind of thing.
Yeah.
But the actual tournament hasn't started yet.
Well, I know there were some upsets. I'm not, turn this into a sports podcast, but,
Right.
But I went to a high school, and my high school, St. Mary's, is also affiliated with St. Mary's College, the one that's usually playing on, it's usually playing the NCAA tournament. And apparently, they weren't let in for some reason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, unless it was at some other school.
Huh.
I don't know. I feel it's interesting, though, because is it supposed to be in the red like that? We're looking at our instruments on this end.
Right. Sorry, I was just, I gotta check the audio every once in a while. I know.
By the way, I didn't realize that coffee shop we were stopping in Bishop is a loony bean.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, is that a chain?
Well, there's one here. There's one right next to your apartment on the river. It's that coffee shop. Right across the street from the Collective.
That's Java Jungle.
Oh, damn it.
Yeah.
I could have sworn there's one here in Reno.
I don't know if there is, but that's Java Jungle.
Damn it.
Looney Bean in Bishop. Is that in Bishop? No, it's not in Bishop. It's in Big Pine or something like that. Lone Pine.
No.
Yeah, it is.
Uh-uh.
It's not in Bishop.
Yeah, it is.
No, it's not. No.
Yeah, because I just stopped there.
Spellbinder Books used to have a coffee shop. That's in Bishop. I'm pretty sure the one you're talking about is in Lone Pine.
It's you go it's about 2 blocks up on the left. And it's in like a right next to a bank.
I know where it's at.
Yeah, it's right next to the Thunderbird Motel.
I'm thinking of a different place.
Yeah.
I'm thinking of the place in Big Pine or Lone Pine that has sandwiches and like ice cream and stuff too.
They're good too.
Yeah.
But I usually stopping in Looney Bean.
Nice. Nice. Yeah, I have stopped there. Yeah, I was completely thinking a different place. Anyway.
Although, when I hooked my tablet up to their damn Wi-Fi, I reset it to Midwestern time.
Nice.
Like, Midwestern time. Come on, guys.
Yeah, what's going on there? Anyway, it's heavy conference season right now.
Oh, yeah.
And next week, we'll be here in the studio, of course. But then on Friday and Saturday, I don't know if you're going, Richie. I'll be at we'll both be at the Nevada Archaeological Association conference. I'll be in and out of the, it's one room, so when everybody's in there doing it, I'll be in there with them. But when they come out for their breaks, I'll have a Wild Note booth set up right outside the door.
Neat. Are Brandon and Nancy going to be there?
No, it's just me this time.
Neat.
I know, solo. Shooting solo. Anybody following the Wild Note saga, we had the California DPR forums mostly ready to go. There's a few tweaks we got to iron out, but they were really rolling for SCA. And they're hot and heavy working on the Nevada Archaeology forum right now. Basically the old short form.
Oh, because I thought, iMac, it can be used all over the place.
Well, it's not like that anymore, though.
Really?
All the states have a different form.
Oh my
They're
God.
kind of based on each other. Like, Idaho is the only one I know of that still has like a Part A, Part B, Part C, and Part D.
What?
Yeah, so if you don't know what we're talking about, sorry about that. It's the recording forms that used to be same for all the Intermountain states, but now they're kind of different.
Wow, when did that happen?
It's been happening for years. Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah, Nevada had the long form, They had the short form as like their, hey, if you only have a small site, just do the short form.
Yeah.
Now the short form is the only form, as of 2012, actually.
Ooh, just like simplified taxes that you usually have to end up having someone do.
Pretty much. The short form was the 1040 EZ, and now it's the only form. So
cool.
Yeah, apparently Trump took over and said, we're going to reduce this and make it useless.
Oh my god, next thing I'll be updating NevChris or something crazy like that.
I know, right? So, anyway, so for Nevada, we'll have the Nevada forms and then inventory forms as well. They're working on those. And then by NLAC, the Northwest Anthropological Conference at the end of the month, we should have some other things.
Ooh,
so, yeah.
neat.
I'm not going to say what because I don't know what they're going to have done. They're working hard, though.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Even though that first podcast did not get back to me, I on the way back, I had a brainstorm and I had to stop at the Looney Bean. This is the reason I remember it's in Bishop, because I was gassing up in Bishop. I was like, oh, I should pull over. But I now have like a whole spreadsheet full of different podcasts to look up.
Nice.
That potentially you could be a guest on.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Yeah. Because I was thinking, man, what other sorts of... Because there are other sorts of there's other podcasts besides archaeology podcasts that might be interested in archaeology.
Yeah.
And then I started entering all the search terms I could think of.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha.
You know, I'm all about spreading the joy and the word about archaeology. I'm going to leave a link here because I just updated the page. When you're doing stuff officially, like spreading the love and joy of archaeology, you have to be official. You know, you have to do things officially. So I've actually got I hired on a temporary basis this PR firm called Up My Influence. I hate that name. It used to be Upend PR until about a month ago, and they changed it to Up My Influence.
That sounds terrible.
I know. They do a bunch of crazy things, but one of the things they help you do is they help you develop your media presence. They help you develop your media kit and your media presence, and then work with your social media and stuff like that. So, you know, I'll probably stay to the end of this month, and then I'll probably cancel it because it's like $400 a month.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I mean, they're legit. They're doing really awesome stuff, but I just don't have the money right now. But the reason I'm doing that is because I feel like those of us that have something to say, those of us with a voice, those of us that want to be in front of the media promoting archaeology, because we need those people. We need to get in front of the media, and I want to do it right. I don't want to just be some dumbass archaeologist standing in front of a camera or being quoted for an article and saying, we dig stuff and we do these things. You know, I mean, I want to do things the right way. So the reason I'm saying that is because leading into, I put my media page in the link for this show. If you're watching this on YouTube, flip over to the Facebook page real quick and check out digtech-lsc.com/media.
Yeah, and if you're at home, obviously you can just open it up in a new tab. You don't have to leave the
There you go. There you go. And maybe if Richie listens to this, he'll put that in the notes for his show.
Oh, I probably will.
Yeah. So anyway, I'm saying that because I've been on a few shows recently, and one of them I forgot all about because we recorded this back in like October, and the guy just posted the show. I don't know if he had a huge
was it
backlog.
the Princess one?
No, that one was a pretty quick turnaround. But that one's on there too. But on my media page, if you scroll down, you'll see all the stuff that I can think of where I've done an interview, and I've done I've done 4 or 5 interviews in the last 6 months talking about archaeology, CRM archaeology, things like that. And one of the ones where I was really talking about CRM and things is called the Unplugged History Podcast, or History Unplugged, I can't remember. Either way, that chunk of audio, it's about a 52-minute podcast, is on the media page if you scroll down the page.
Wow, what's it about?
So, I don't even remember. I haven't listened to it. I'm pretty sure we talked about, like, because he's mostly a history show.
Yeah.
And I think we talked about CRM and what CRM is, and you know what kind of the responsibilities are of landowners and developers and stuff like that.
Wait, they have responsibilities?
I know. Well, they're supposed to. So.
Oh my god.
This is why we talk about it.
True, but it's kind of like that nice lady you met.
Oh yeah. So what Richie's referring to, I think, is a landowner that we met that came to the conference because she's part of we interviewed her, actually. You'll hear this interview if you subscribe to the CRM Archaeology podcast. She has, and I can't remember what his name was, Nate Harris or Nate Hamilton or Nate something or other. Anyway, it was the first African American to own property in the San Diego area, if not California. And he was a freed slave. Came out here, had something like 160 some odd acres, and there's a homestead. She's got, I think she said 67 acres now. And there's a whole section where it was his homestead, and there are some outbuildings and stuff, and some other landowners are on some other property. But she's decided to carve that out. She's letting the University of San Diego, I think, or one of the California universities down there, continuously excavate, and she plans to put a museum up there. And all that is out of the goodness of her heart. She's losing access to some of her land, and she's doing that because she appreciates the history behind it. So,
well, it's got to be UCSD then.
It might be, but there's another...
Although, the Cal State down there, I don't know if they have a grad program.
I'm not really sure. Yeah.
Interesting.
So...
Yeah.
We just had like 4 people like the Archaeology Podcast Network page. I wonder if...
See? Huh.
I can't tell if they're watching or not.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Obviously, we keep talking about metrics that people can't see on their end, but it's crazy the amount of impressions, the ratio of impressions to links. People who have been clicking on that link I put up.
Yeah, on Twitter?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ha.
Yeah. All right, let's move through some other comments as Richie folds up his lunch and puts it away. Hey, we just got a whole bunch of likes. I'm not sure what that's all about.
Neat.
Nice. Somebody's just like, hey, somebody slammed on a mad like. I'm not really sure what that's all about.
Oh, what's a mad like?
You know, like the mad one, like the frowny face?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
I guess they don't like the...
Wait,
they're not picking up what we're putting down. They're not...
Oh, I was thinking maybe they don't like the fact that we're not exposing the Illuminati who keep digging up dinosaurs and giving ourselves a bad name.
I guess they don't like. They're not screening what we're shoveling. I'm not really sure what the deal is.
It's crazy. Even though this, they can't see it, since I'm talking about it. But if last time you and I were down to 395, it's like so many towns were dead and stuff like that. And now there's so much construction, even in places like Gardnerville and Minden. Like, man, no wonder prices in Reno are going up so much.
Yeah, all these outlying areas.
I mean, I wouldn't have thought of Gardnerville or Minden as like a suburb of Reno, but now it's like it is basically.
Yeah. We had a comment. I missed it.
Oh no,
Erica. I don't think it's pronounced Jaeger, but probably Jaeger or something like that. It's Jaeger. But Erica, how's it going?
Hey there.
Nice to see you. So, okay. What do you got on your list that we're gonna cover today?
Oh my God! I thought Brandon and Nancy's impression of CRM companies was interesting. Should we talk about that, or can we?
I think we can. Brandon and Nancy are 2 of the reps from WildNote that we were working with at the conference.
And this was like their first exposure to some of the companies.
Yeah, they go to lots of conferences, and they're mostly like biology related, things like that, environmental. This is their first archaeology conference. Yeah. And, this isn't necessarily, not to call them out, this isn't necessarily their impressions, but this is, people you talk to that see this kind of thing for the first time, you always hear this, so it's not uncommon. But, I don't know, what were you thinking?
They found some of the companies, compared to biology companies, they found some CRM company practices to be very unsavory.
Yes.
And we take it as just since we don't have exposure to other sorts of companies, we just think this is just the way it is for everyone.
Yeah.
But it's not.
Yeah.
Become a biologist.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we're constantly dealing... Oh, she said it's pronounced Jaeger. Nice. Just like Chuck Yeager. And she works out of Idaho.
Neat.
So great. Well, thanks for joining us from Idaho, Erica.
Neat. So she's an hour ahead. Wait, is it an hour or 2 hours?
Depends on where she's at. I don't know if the whole state's an hour ahead. Oh. And it's only 1 if it is, because it's mountain time.
Thank God.
Yeah. Right. Anyway, most people's first impression of CRM companies is a relatively unsavory business practice. I was having a conversation in a group on Facebook called the CRM Project Managers. And somebody put up a question and said, has anybody ever dealt with or used automated report generation? And I don't know what they were actually talking about. Did they mean like generating site records automatically from data, or actually generating reports? Because it's something I've thought about a lot, which is, we back up a little bit. We often use templates for our reports.
Yeah.
And by templates, I just mean really style guides.
Yeah.
And, maybe like for the BLM in Nevada, there's 10 or 11 sections that they want. So that's a template.
Oh my God. And my friend who works with BLM is always shocked at how people can never follow the damn template. He's like,
I know.
We put them out and no one ever follows them.
I know. Well, and she says it's 5:30 there, so on mountain time.
Yay.
Anyway, you follow a template. That's not boilerplate.
No.
It's just the template. It's like the BLM says, or whatever agency you're working for says, listen, we want this section, followed by this section, followed by this section. Yeah. What you put in those sections should probably follow along with what they expect to see in those sections. Some of the stuff can be sort of boilerplate-ish, like your background histories and stuff. Obviously,
make sure it's the right location.
Well, make sure it's the right location. Yeah, I often will use boilerplate, but then adjust as necessary. Yeah. You start with something and then you adjust as necessary, not for the entire report, but just for small sections of it. So from that standpoint, doing automated report production, there are a lot of sections where it really is just formulaic. You know, it's like the methods section. If you did a class 3 inventory, really the only thing that's going to change is the number of acres you did and the people who did it.
I mean, you're not writing like, you're not writing a novel.
No, and there's only a few places where you really need to be creative and subjective, and that's probably in the conclusions section or results, maybe the results section, but the results really is just like a list of what you found.
Yeah.
And then there's conclusions, and then there's maybe recommendations. You know, what do you think the landowner should do here? And a lot of that is summarized into the management summary.
Ooh.
And which is really the only thing that developers look at. You know, they'll go right to the management summary and then right to the bottom, and it says, can I dig, or is this going to cost me more money? And that's really all they care about. But
wait,
you know,
were they referring to something like Grammarly for like report writing, or
I don't think
else?
so. I don't think so. But either way, you know, comments were made in there about how, you know, this one woman, she commented and said, and she's a firm owner, I know her very well, and she commented and said, you know, she tries to stay away from boilerplate, and because a lot of her clients, they can recognize that she has consistently. They don't like the boilerplate. They like something fresh for their project. They like, you know, and she's like, she's written whole reports like from scratch because the client wanted that. And I was like, you know what? When clients start not taking the lowest bidder, then they can get better reports.
See?
You know, right now, we have a certain mandate to do the work, and we do the work well, I think, in most cases. But then it comes to the report, and I'll tell you what, you're not going to get a fancy report if you're not going to pay for it.
You want artisanal archaeology, you pay artisanal prices.
My God, right? That is going on a t-shirt. That is going on a t-shirt, and there will be a latte with a flower on it sitting next to it, and a fancy donut. That is so true, Richie. When you listen back to this, text me that so I can remember it and put it on a t-shirt. Anyway, that's so true, because, I mean, I'll tell you what, if I were to produce a report, I would use, if I were to produce the report of my dreams, the CRM report of my dreams, it's going to be, I mean, it has to be PDF to preserve formatting, things like that, right? But if you use Acrobat Professional, you can do really awesome PDFs. I've seen 3D models that are like rotating GIFs, basically, in a PDF.
Wow.
Yes, you can do that if it's not just a standard flat PDF. If it's a dynamic PDF, you can have moving graphics, you can have video, you can have all kinds of stuff.
But how many archaeology companies have computers that can even do that?
That's not even the question we're answering right now, but you're right. The point is, if people wanted fancier reports, they simply just have to pay for them. They're getting the lowest bidder, which means they're getting the lowest quality report.
Exactly.
You know? They're getting a high standard of work. I want to give people the benefit of the doubt and say, it doesn't matter what they're getting paid. I want to say that everybody is doing the best job that they can, right?
But if you go to McDonald's and then suddenly you're asking, where is my $6 was that a Carl's Jr. burger? That's not going to happen.
Yeah, totally.
Oh man, I feel chipped. I don't have a cup. I don't have a poster.
And Carl here is saying, but then you can't email the report because it's 100 megabytes. Actually, it's probably way more than that, Carl. However, things like Google Drive and maybe not Google Drive, it's a little less secure, but Dropbox and things like that, you can share the link to it. And I do that with my clients all the time. I have Dropbox for Business, and I'm able to share a link to. I'm able to share a link that has like a limited time quantity on it too.
Ooh.
Like you have 3 days to download this, and then the link expires.
Neat.
Something like that. So it's not available forever. You can also password your links. So when you send the link to somebody, send the password in a separate email or in a text if you're really paranoid about it. Or you're really concerned about it. Maybe they're on an email system that, 700 people get access to because it's a corporate structure or something like that. And the rest of the people in the company should not have access to this.
Or they're using like Outlook and they've got the password post-it noted on the computer, just like that dude in Hawaii.
Oh, yeah, totally, exactly.
But how many offices does that happen? Like, all of them.
I know. I've seen videos before where, confidential information is on the whiteboard behind them. Yeah. Let's see, what else has Carl got here? He says, it gets harder for us in agencies because we aren't allowed to use Dropbox, etc., of course. But there are some agency-approved alternatives. You're right, and I think some of those alternatives, correct me if I'm wrong, might be like OneDrive, because a lot of places, Microsoft Office has like the carte blanche, you're good to go sort of acceptance from the government. Yeah, so maybe one of those. He says they usually mail a USB drive. My point is,
my God, that's a lot less secure.
I know. My point is, you do what you've got to do. You produce the best report you can, and then don't worry about how it's going to get there. If you have to mail them a USB drive, or if you have to mail them a CD or whatever, They do that. That's what the BLM here requires. They require CDs.
Wow.
Well, DVDs really, because there's a lot of information. You can't usually fit it on a CD.
Wait, is this the same BLM that still has iOmega zip disk drives around?
I'm willing to bet they don't have any way to read the DVD. That's why they also require 3 bound copies of the report, or 1 bound copy and 2 unbound copies.
I mean, how long ago? How long ago has it been since computers had CDs in them, CD drives or DVD drive?
There's one in this room right now, and I'm not sure if it works.
Yeah, but it's like this computer's like what, 8 years old?
It's like 7 years old. Yeah, totally. My new MacBook Pro here doesn't have one. My wife and I realized that unless I take this old computer home, which the only thing this is used for anymore is this broadcast, and when that dies, we'll have to figure something else out.
Yeah.
But we don't have one in our house.
Yeah.
We don't have a DVD player. We don't have a CD player.
Oh my god,
Nothing.
actually, that's the only reason I have one. So I bought a CD, DVD reader so I could upload Windows 7 onto my current home PC.
Nice.
That's the only reason I have it. And then now it's hooked up to my Mac so I can watch DVDs.
I'm actually surprised you couldn't download it, Windows 7.
No, it was a clean hard drive.
Oh,
a clean
gotcha.
install.
Gotcha.
Yeah, there was nothing.
Yeah, you need that then.
Because I did try a USB drive at first, but it wouldn't read it at all.
Not from USB? Yeah.
So then I had to dig up, my copy, my stash of like recordable CDs that I hadn't used in like 20 years. Like literally, like they used to come, for people who don't remember, it used to come in stacks.
I've got a stack upstairs.
Yeah, and like so far, like I've used like that many, which is like 4.
Yeah, me too. The only reason I use those, when I started my company, I bought like, I think it was a pack of 100 of them or something like that from Office Depot or something.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to do all these things, but the only time I use them is for BLM projects. And a lot of times, I'm not even the prime contractor on the BLM project. I'm a sub, so the prime is the one sending that stuff out. So I've used like 10 of those in my career, as a firm owner, and nothing else. And that's the only thing I use them for.
Oh my god, we should talk about the craziness that was, my buddy calling me up and saying, hey, there's a 1099 job. Can you be there tomorrow? And I thought, oh my god, that is the craziest thing.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, that happens in archaeology. Like, when I first got to Reno, Katie, I forgot it was Katie or Harold, called me up and said, hey, we got a job. Can you be here at 7 a.m. tomorrow? And I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I was in LA. It was like, 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
and 7 a.m. tomorrow means you're going to be gone for 10 days probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, no, thankfully they were already on 8/6s.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh, thank God.
So yeah, switching topics, Richie was contacted by a friend about a monitoring job that was, I think you said it was either a week or a month.
Yeah.
A week to a month long, and it starts pretty much like right now.
Yeah.
The craziness that people expect us to do as CRM archaeologists is honestly kind of amazing. Now,
I mean, granted, it was a lot of money, but it's like, my God.
well, either way, on the one hand, I look at it as, son of a bitch, why do we have to get treated this way? On the other hand, it's kind of the job.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, if you were some sort of specialist that deals with emergency spills or something like that, how about NTSB? If you work for the NTSB, the National Transportation Safety Board, and there's a train wreck in San Francisco, and your office is in, Fresno or New York City, you're going to San Francisco, and you're going to be there till it's done.
Yeah, but the thing is, those people, like, there's time-sensitive evidence. With archaeology, those people are already dead.
True, but there's a lot of time-sensitive things that are happening. There's a lot of people in play. I mean, a company, if they've been stupid, and they usually are because they don't understand archaeology, if they've got a schedule and they say, okay, well, we need to have this one thing done, our contractors told us in their proposal that it'll probably take a week, so we're going to schedule all the other trucks and people for a week from now.
Yeah.
And then you get there, and it takes 2 weeks because you found stuff, or it takes whatever. Yeah. And then they freak out because they're spending $50,000 a day with this equipment and these people just hanging out waiting for you to get done, and then they blame you for it, and then they all turn, if they're not already, Republican, and they try to vote down NHPA.
But my God, like, I don't know, I was a little suspicious about how quickly he got, insurance and stuff. Because, like, man, I feel like that shouldn't... Is it possible to get insurance that quick?
Well, it was insurance for you?
Yeah, like my buddy got insurance, and it's like, yeah, it's only like, X number of dollars for the whole month.
I mean, there's definitely places that'll insure you short time for short periods of time. Whether or not it actually would have covered anything that happened is another question.
See, that's the thing.
Whether or not it would have covered you as a 1099, I'd tell you right now, no, it won't.
See?
He can't get insurance that'll cover you.
Yeah.
We'll get Sonia Hoopmacher on here from the CRM Archaeology podcast, and she'll probably tell you that. 1099, by the court of the IRS, means you do everything yourself.
Yeah.
If somebody else is doing it for you. Now, if he was selling you insurance, and you're the one that's insured, he has to be an insurance agent to do that. But if he's selling you insurance, that's one thing. Or maybe if he got the insurance and he's taking the cost of it off of what he's paying you, that might be allowed as well. But either way, the whole point of 1099 is you pay for everything.
Yeah.
And you determine your own schedule.
Man, my God, that was a crazy sort of. That was crazy, by the way.
Yeah.
Can I also say the other thing that's crazy, because is companies not issuing phones. I realize that's kind of a left turn, but it's like I was just thinking about it because I'm looking at it on my pad right now, on my tablet. But it's like every other industry gives people phones.
Comes down to the bottom line, man. It comes down to lowest bidder. And if you can say we don't provide this, then it's one less thing you got to pay for, and your overhead is less.
Yeah, but I feel like it makes you so much less efficient.
Well, yeah, but people don't seem to be concerned with that. I don't know what to tell you. It always comes down to the bottom line. We set our ancestors in archaeology set a precedent of basically doing archaeology at a really low price, and that has stayed that way, throughout time. And because of that, as technology has increased and things have gotten more expensive, our clients and our people that we work for have not progressed in their thinking about how much this is going to cost. They don't plan it into their system.
Yeah.
So
oh my God,
I don't know what to tell you.
Although on a slightly veering off, there are certain apps that might make things cheaper.
Yeah. Well, there's lots of things you can do to increase your efficiency and not cost you any money.
True.
Lots of things you can do. Yeah.
I was referring to Wild Note, but whatever.
Well, yes, Wild Note. I mean, Wild Note is super cheap. I don't want to use my position there as a bias, but they are a sponsor of the show now officially.
Wait, they are?
Yeah. It's not really making us any money, but since I work there and I have my other company sponsoring the shows, I figure why not. But anyway, and I'm not even talking about that. There's other things that you can do. Like, I mean, I was using. Like, let's say, for example, you did want to use something like that, or you wanted to use a free solution that was going to take a little more time to learn and set up, like Tapforms. I was using Tapforms for a while.
Yeah.
People often think, well, crap, I'm going to do that. It's free, but I got to buy $20,000 worth of tablets.
So?
Do it on your phone.
Oh, I remember starting to do that, except I had a Android equivalent.
Right. Well, you find something that everybody could use.
Yeah.
Find something that works for everybody, and just do it on the phone. And it's, again, it would still be cheaper in the short term anyway to actually compensate people slightly for their phones. You don't have to pay for the whole thing, but maybe pay for some of the equipment cost or something like that per month. Like, add it to your line item for your clients and say, it's costing us $20 or $50 a month or whatever for these phones.
Ooh.
Give that to your employees as compensation, and then go from there. And you don't have to buy equipment.
See?
So I don't think any employees, including temporary field techs, would say no to an extra $50 a month if you ask them to use their phone for work.
Well, I mean, most of them. Well, I mean, I shouldn't say they use them for work. I mean, some people actually use the GPS apps, or the compass apps or whatever.
Yeah.
But wow, that's interesting.
I know. Looks like Sean Bob might be watching. How's it going, Sean Bob? He's up in Alaska.
Neat.
Yeah.
What time is it? Well, I guess it's the same time as it is here.
Probably not part of it. Part of it is, but the rest of it, it's actually a time zone or two back.
Yeah.
Yeah, earlier in the day.
My God, you know what the crazy thing is? When we leave here at, I don't know what time, it's going to be daylight still.
Yeah, well, that's called daylight savings, Richie. It happens every year.
Thank God. Unless you're in Arizona.
Unless you're in Arizona. Now I'm an hour off from my co-host for the Archaeology show in Arizona.
Really?
Yeah. I got to talk about that real quick. Just like 2 hours ago, actually about 3 o'clock, I finished recording with her.
Yeah.
And we talked to a guy named Dr. Justin Jacobs, who works for the American University, and he wrote a book called Indiana Jones from Pompeii to the Moon.
Oh, weren't you reading that upstairs?
Indiana Jones in History. Yeah, I finally finished it, of course.
Oh.
He has an entire video series. Now, if you want to find all this out, look at the Archaeology Show podcast, episode 38, I think, in a week and a half.
Oh, neat.
We'll have the links in the show notes. But he has listed at the end of each of his chapters 2 or 3 videos that are companion videos to the chapter. And they're all on a 21 video playlist on his YouTube channel.
Neat.
And we'll link to that. And it's actually really good.
Really?
I'll full disclosure, I mean, I've been super busy the last week or two.
Yeah.
And I didn't finish the last couple chapters of his book. But this morning, I watched all the videos on YouTube at 2x. So that was pretty great. And it was actually a really good discussion that we had about he started doing research because he got his PhD studying Chinese history, modern Chinese history.
Really?
Yeah, and he was looking at. He was talking to somebody on his committee about, what should he study, blah, 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 something what interests him. And he's like, he didn't want to pick something that wasn't going to be too interesting or uninteresting later on.
Yeah.
So he thought from his childhood, he was 1 year old when the first Indiana Jones movie came out. And,
wow.
And he's like, Indiana Jones shaped his childhood and his thinking about archaeology. And how many of us can say that? Pretty much all of us, right?
Yeah,
a lot of us.
I've got a leather jacket from the company that made the one for the movies.
There you go.
Yeah.
Well, he started thinking, what is the reality behind, basically, not who's the real Indiana Jones? That question's been asked. He does kind of get into that a little bit, but really, what's the reality behind removing antiquities from a country in that time frame? And he started looking back at that, and you really have to go back to the late 1800s when that was really allowed. Not allowed, but not disallowed. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, only they did it at the end of their guns.
Right. So he goes through a whole bunch of chapters like that, and then in the last chapter, I'll tell you what, if you don't read any part of that book, read the last chapter, because it's the most amazing, in-depth academic review of all 4 Indiana Jones movies.
Really?
What are the historical inaccuracies? What did they get right? What did they base things on?
So many of them.
I know. Well, and that's what he says. And you know what? I'm interested to see what people think on this show.
Yeah.
Send us a comment, because he spent the first 6.5 minutes of the last segment of the podcast, because I asked him to talk about chapter 5, the last chapter, the movies. And his biggest thesis was about how the movie itself was historically inaccurate. We all know it's historically inaccurate, right? So at least we do.
Yeah.
People who don't study archaeology history don't know that it's historically inaccurate. But I asked him, I said, we're not talking about The Mummy with Brandon Fraser here. We're not talking about National Treasure with
but
Nicolas
The Mummy
Cage.
is surprisingly good. I like that.
But it wasn't historically accurate.
Yeah.
You're not even questioning yourself, right?
No.
But a lot of people watch Indiana Jones and they say, man, I can't believe the Nazis used to look for stuff like that when they would not have been even remotely interested in Christian and Jewish artifacts.
No.
They were looking for other Aryan things to prove their ancestry, but not Christian and Jewish artifacts. And then not only that, but so many more things, like from the time period to lots of different things, were just historically inaccurate. And I was like, who cares? It's fiction.
Everyone.
I know, but the only reason we care is because they got it just a little bit too close for comfort. You know what I mean? Like, it's so kind of close, it's almost believable to people who don't really study that kind of history.
Ooh.
And that's the reason why it's kind of dangerous, and that we wish it was a little more historically accurate. If Indiana Jones had flopped as a film, we would not be having this conversation.
Yeah, but then there'd be some archaeologists out there who'd remember it.
Sure, but we wouldn't have had an entire generation of archaeologists shaped by that movie.
Oh, and a little fun fact, the plane he takes the flight in the first movie, you can visit that. It's actually right at the museum at the Oakland airport.
Oh, nice. Isn't that a DC-3, I think?
No, it's it was a seaplane.
Oh, that one. That plane. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it's super cool. It's like, it's like you can see it right from the road.
Nice.
Yeah, I didn't realize that was the plane until I got older.
Well, it got me thinking about the movie and how it shaped an industry, basically, because it's coincidence, total coincidence, that Indiana Jones came out in 1981, right at about the time most CRM firms were getting started, and people were getting into archaeology in serious numbers.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people started firms in the mid to late 70s, and then early 80s hit, and people were just, these newly minted PhDs that had started these firms started getting more and more work as the industry started to really grow up. A lot of people got into archaeology not only because there was jobs, but probably because Indiana Jones. And it made me think, can you think of any other industries that are really shaped by a movie?
Oh.
That have a movie icon as their quintessential, person you go back to? Is there any other industry?
Martial arts.
Well, hey, but is that an industry?
Well, my God, you seen all the number of studios in town here?
Well, I mean, that's true. I feel like people...
it's like not just martial arts, but MMA and all the fighting.
Yeah. What the hell was that guy's name? Bruce Lee.
Oh, I was going to say Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse.
Oh, Jesus. Well, you could go Patrick Swayze in Ghost and say the pottery industry was dramatically enhanced by...
Oh, I bet it was.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Or being cheesy and Smokey and the Bandit.
My God. So, I think the answer to that question is no. maybe martial arts I'll give you, but it's not an entire industry like CRM archaeology is, and archaeology in particular.
True. Although, how many people rediscovered the blues after the Blues Brothers?
Yeah, but still, not an industry. Not a generation of people. And those people probably don't like the blues anymore. You know, maybe they do, maybe they don't. But, I mean, even not amongst archaeologists, people associate archaeology with Indiana Jones.
That's true.
You know? And Carl says CSI started the craze of people becoming
that's true.
forensic anthropologists.
See?
That's what I'm talking about. Excellent point.
Or Bones.
Bones probably did too, yeah. Yeah.
Because that's why I always tell people, because I don't know if she's still doing it. I think she went back for her PhD, but I used to know the person who was the actual Bones for the Washoe County. She was the actual forensic anthropologist.
Nice. Yeah. I'd love to have a forensic anthropology podcast.
And you know what's crazy about her is the fact that she was doing that she was doing that as her main job.
Right.
Then she was a field tech on the side, and she rebuilt her own Ford pickup truck, and she made it into a drag racing truck that could do the quarter mile in like 10 minutes.
Oh my God.
Or 10 seconds.
Yeah, I was gonna say 10 minutes.
Yeah. And you could see her. She actually lives here in town. If you ever see a blue Ford pickup with the with Foxy Lady on the side, that's her.
Nice. Yeah, I would say I would question too whether or not shows like Law and Order spawn more people to go into the police work or law.
True.
And then shows like ER. You know, Grey's Anatomy, stuff like that. You know, just pulling on that doctor craze. Did that inspire people to go into the medical profession? I'm guessing yes.
Oh my God, Magnum PI and people wanting to become private investigators.
Right, but here's the question with all this. You know, Carl's mentioning CSI, you know, ER, Grey's Anatomy, Magnum PI, but when somebody says who is the person that exemplifies this field, there is no one person in any of those that you can really pin it on. But when you say, even if you've never seen the movies, you know the words Indiana Jones.
Yes.
And a typical archaeologist is an Indiana Jones archaeologist. That's what people always say. How did that happen?
You know? Awesomeness.
I'm so disheartened. Discouraged.
What? That's like saying you're disheartened by people wanting to become a Jedi Master now.
I mean, I am, but...
or people wanting to learn the Klingon language.
And when you say Jedi Master, what's the first thing you think of? Who?
Oh my God, Darth Vader.
You would. I would say Yoda myself, but you know. Wow. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about anymore. I love having those kinds of discussions, though. I seriously don't know of another field where you can just point to a person's name, a character name, and say this one is the exemplary of this.
And yet, how many other people who don't know anything about archaeology would point to Jurassic Park?
Yeah, totally. Yeah. Even then, there isn't a single person in there that I could name a character of.
Jeff Goldblum.
That's not his character name.
I know. I don't care what his character name is. His character name is Jeff Goldblum.
Yeah, he is a character. Yeah, if anybody knows of a name of a character in a movie or a TV show that defines an industry, not a movie, not a TV show, but a character name, like Indiana Jones. Yeah. Does that exist? Or are we unique in this field?
Interesting.
Yeah.
My God, you know what's crazy? The number of people I know in the archaeology industry who actually started out in the movie industry. Like, you know, when we were talking to Silver.
Used to live in LA.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I was talking to Silver, like a buddy of mine, his name is Bill. Mm-hmm. You know, he was he's actually living off his pension from the movie industry. He was a set builder, carpenter.
Oh, right.
And he worked on Tremors and stuff like that.
Oh, that Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, and then I met another archaeologist, you know, he's the dude who lived on the boat, Rory.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know, he spent like 10 years living in Peter Fonda's guest house.
Oh my God.
And his official title, he actually had an official title, vehicle wrangler. Obviously no one outside the industry is going to know what that is, but...
Isn't that somebody that just procures vehicles?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. Well, we're going to be wrapping up soon. If you have any other questions or anything like that, send them on over. So I'll put a quick plug out because I just added a new page to my Pro Podcast Now website. I'm utilizing, I've always wanted to try this out because I've never had a reason to use it, but I'm using the events calendar for Squarespace.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, and it's a whole page an events page it's on propodcastnow.com. It's only for people who are interested in actually podcasting for themselves. If you want to make a show for the APN, don't do that. Talk to me first, because we'll do most of the work. You just need to have content.
Interesting. Is it like an actual page that's integrated into your website?
It's now a top level thing that you can, in the tabs that you can click. It says training events.
Ooh.
You click on that, and it has a nice little interface where it shows the whole event, and when you click on it, you can go there, you can actually purchase the event right there. It shows you the time it starts and ends. And I'm saying this to people here because I have two things basically up there. A workshop that's only good for people in Reno. And the next one is actually this Friday.
Unless you just want to like fly here or drive here.
Yeah, if you want to fly here, I'll even put you up. If you're going to fly to my workshop, I'll give you a place to stay.
Oh, there's a place upstairs this day, isn't there?
I know, that's what I meant. I didn't say it would be a nice place. Anyway, I also have a webinar, and the next class, if I get anybody to sign up, because I haven't really promoted this much, so I haven't actually done one yet, but it's a webinar. It starts March 20th.
Yeah.
The one after that is in April. I think even April 20th maybe, but anyway, March 20th.
Yeah.
It's 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Pacific time on a Tuesday, 3 consecutive Tuesdays in a row.
Neat.
And after the first two classes, each of the first two classes, you'll have some homework to do. Not a lot, but a little bit of homework to do.
Yeah.
That's how I'm able to knock the workshop down into 6 hours, because I'm putting a lot of the work on you to get that done. It's $150, but if you want a discount code, send me a message. And but only do this if you're really serious about podcasting. I don't know how many people are watching this. They're not going to do it like an archaeology podcast, but who knows? This coffee's really hitting me weird.
Interesting.
Anyway, along those lines.
Oh, well, I was going to ask you a question. Is that on top of the other app, Calendly? I mean, are you like switching?
Well, Calendly is more of a scheduler to get onto my schedule. This is an events calendar that just shows you what events are coming up.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it has nothing to do with Calendly.
Interesting.
Yeah, so.
Are you going to make one of those for the APN?
Well, I don't have any events for the APN.
Oh, I was thinking, man, like show releases or something.
I've thought about that, but this is more for people to see, events they can attend or something like that. Because it doesn't actually show you a calendar view. It's more of a list of events from top to bottom, like meetup shows.
Oh.
That's basically that.
Oh, man, you could do that for all the conferences you're going to.
Yeah, I mean, go check it out at propodcastnow.com and then click on training and you'll see it, training events.
Alrighty.
Anyway, I was going to mention real quick, because we're setting it up right now. I've added her to some of the things, but I'm just going to keep it a little bit under my hat right now. I'll just tell you the topic, but we're starting a zoo archaeology podcast.
Oh, God, she sent you a Twitter message this morning, but
I know.
accidentally. Oh, good. Thank God you saw that.
I get emails when they send. So I saw that, and I added her to Slack.
Oh, I saw that too.
And created the channel.
I saw that too.
And so I don't know when it's going to be out. We need to get the content. There's a lot of work that goes into starting a podcast. You want to do it right. You have to have everything in place.
Oh, wait, let me guess. Bones too.
No. No. What did she say? She said something about archaeo animals or something like that, or I don't know. She was talking about something. But anyway, we'll have more information on that as it becomes available, and when I know when we're going to set a release date for that, then we'll get going. She's pretty excited about it, and I had a conversation with her this week on Skype. She's actually an American living in England. She's going to university.
That's like the second host you've got that has the same sort of thing going.
Yes, it is. So anyway, that's pretty cool. And if you've got an idea for a show, like we mentioned, forensic anthropologist, man, I would love to have a podcast about forensic anthropology. Not an episode, an entire podcast.
Yeah.
And there's so many things out there. I want to see like a, historic archaeology podcast.
God, for all the other archaeologists to hate on.
I know, right? But whatever you're interested in, whatever your major field of study of interest is, there's an entire body of work about that. There's an entire group of people that are studying it, so you've got tons of people you could talk to as interviews.
Oh my God, and don't forget, you can now be like one of the first archaeologists to do your master's thesis on typologies of plastic bottles.
True story. Yeah.
Which is, I don't know.
The Plastic Bottle Show. That sounds like a great podcast. It's all historical archaeology, and all we talk about are Gatorade bottles. Yeah.
I actually bought, I forget if I still got it, but I've actually got I found a glass Gatorade bottle.
Yeah? Yeah, you mentioned that, yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
I'm pretty sure I've got it at home, like my collection someplace.
Yeah. When are we going to update this screen, Richie?
It's too late. Oh, wait. Oh, I thought we did. Darn it. Oh.
No, because it's not on iTunes.
Shoot.
Or Stitcher. So it's not on iTunes or even Stitcher.
Oh, it's because I uploaded it. I forgot where I uploaded it. too, but
well,
it's
we'll
already
get it
created. Yeah, we just haven't added it to OBS.
Well, what he's got here is true, though. You can find it on YouTube.
At Happy Archaeology Fun Time.
Exactly. And I was over there the other day copying some of the links to the Facebook page.
Ooh.
I mean, not the Facebook page, the Archaeology Podcast Network page. If you go to arcpodnet.com, scroll down, click on the logo for this show.
Yeah.
It will take you to basically Richie's YouTube videos all in one spot for our page right there.
Oh, and by the way, the next time you do an Archaeology Podcast Network booth, one of the ideas we were talking about was listening stations.
Yeah, and I'm actually already set up for that. Honestly, I just need more headphones.
Oh.
Or, honestly, people could use their own headphones because they probably have them in their pocket. But
That's true.
The headphones is the only real thing. I would want probably, this kind of style of headphones.
Ick.
Well,
I mean,
you
that's
don't want
good, but
you don't want headphones somebody's going to stick in their ear.
Exactly. Well, I just meant like nothing like not like nice monitor ones, just like over the ear ones.
Yeah, I mean, I could get some relatively cheap over-the-ear ones. They are just podcasts. It's not like we're listening to high-fidelity music here.
Yeah.
So I could probably get like $30 headphones or something like that. But
I
I'd
was
probably
thinking 10.
Well, maybe even 10. But over-the-ear style ones with wipes, so you can wipe out somebody's gross scumminess because they just came in from the field.
And I thought it was interesting you referenced Tower Records because, like, my God, that dude just died like last week or something.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And it was Tower Records is like one of the only claims to fame that Sacramento has, and they're holding onto it for dear life.
Nice.
Well, yeah, that's like where the original store was, and that's where he died.
There you go. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the listening station is a great idea because I've got probably 4 or 5 iPads that could be set up.
You should describe to them what that would be like, because obviously,
Well, that's what I'm doing.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, I'm thinking we'd have a table set up.
Yeah.
I'd probably want to get something that, like IKEA makes those actually bamboo iPad stands. I've got like 2 of them.
Yeah.
And there's one upstairs on my desk, and we've got one at home. I'd pick up a few more of those. I mean, I probably could, but these are nice, and I'd probably set them up so people can see it and have the headphones hanging off the side of them. That I would 3D print, like a headphone holder.
Yeah.
And you can walk up and just pick. I think it would just be, as long as we had internet, because we usually do have some kind of internet.
Yeah.
If we had internet, it'd just be on the APN front page.
Ooh.
And then somebody could just click on a podcast and then go and listen to the latest episode or any episode and just sit there and listen to it for a second.
Yeah.
And then, once they walk away, one of our attendants, you or me, or somebody, would go over and reset it back to the homepage probably.
Yeah. Oh, and then we'd have to start putting up notes. Do not check your email on these iPads.
I know. They wouldn't be able to do that anyway.
You say that.
I know. So anyway, I think it's a great idea. And I wish we had thought about it for the last one because we actually had, I think, probably 2 iPads at least that we weren't using.
Oh,
but we didn't have the headphones available.
Yeah, well, I was thinking also we had so many people who didn't know about it and never heard of it, which is crazy. We also had we also made many new fans.
I know. One thing actually I think I'd like to do as well, have it be a little bit more, I think it'd be a little bit more fancy, take up less real estate too on a table, is those 3M Velcro strips. I have those on the backs of a lot of my iPads because they actually hang on walls in my house.
Yeah.
But those also stick perfectly to the material that comes naturally on my backdrop, the booth backdrop.
Because originally I was thinking you were going to do that, and then you were going to have the headphones hanging off of that too.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. That's another way to do it.
Yeah.
I'd have to figure out hanging the headphones. I'd probably do it like I did the hangers with clothing and stuff. But
oh my God!
Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking, they sell those Velcro things that you stick to the wall that are meant actually for hanging photos.
Yeah. No, I've got hook ones.
Yeah.
That's what I used at the conference. So anyway, we're getting into the weeds on this. But check us out at. We might have an APN booth coming up in the fall at another conference. There's not going to be one again in the spring, unfortunately.
Yeah. Oh my God! And we should also thank everyone who bought merchandise. That was cool.
Yeah. We had a number of people buy merchandise, and some people went to the T Public store, TEE Public. Type in Ark Podnet.
Neat.
And check out our stuff.
Oh my God! And now we know that people really like notebooks.
Yes, they do. We have notebooks, paper notebooks,
but they don't like the pillows.
Apparently not. I love the pillow. However, you should reach out and grab that pillow because it's amazing. I've got one on the couch right there.
Oh, damn it.
Actually, go grab it. Go grab it right before the end here. I got to show them the pillow. Oh my God. Dude, check this out, people. The freaking pillow.
Oh, whoops.
With APN on both sides. And we have it in the other color with the white one with the black logo. You can get the word dig with Ark Podnet under there, which is pretty
cool.
People
I feel like people would really like the I Dig Dead Things on it.
I Dig Dead Things looks great on this. Yeah. We also have the Ashley and Hand Axe. The Hand Axe pillow, that actually looks really cool. So go to T Public.
Yeah.
type in Ark Podnet, ARCHPODNET, and you'll see our store. And if you've got any ideas for designs that you think would look great on a pillow,
Yeah.
and I think these are like $30.
They are?
Is that what it was?
Yeah.
30 or 35
Yeah.
or something. I mean, that's not bad. It's a good pillow too. It's not like some cheap ass weird pillow.
Oh my god, get it for your hotel room.
I know, right? Travel around with it. Stick it in your trench for Christ's sake. It's just got stuffing. Maybe we can get it printed on like canvas or something, so it'll be
Oh my god, I was
trench
just thinking-
pillows.
It's, I kept telling people that unfortunately they're not Right in the Rains, but man, if T-Public did Right in the Rain notebooks,
Yeah.
that would be like, my god, you'd sell like a bazillion of those.
I know. Well, maybe Right in the Rain does brand their stuff, so
Wait, they do?
I've seen people have Right in the Rain notebooks with Right in the Rain paper.
Neat.
Might have to look into that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
My god, you always knew you were at a good company when they had stacks of Right in the Rains just like sitting there in the front desk and you could just
I know.
grab as many as you wanted.
I know. They weren't cheap either. See, that's the kind of thing companies will waste money on, though.
Yeah.
Because they just had tablets.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Although, my god, I remember I thought I had made it when I got the Far Western for the Ruby Pipeline. All their paperwork, all their forms are printed out on Right in the Rain paper.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. I mean, if you're going to do it right. That's what I say.
And they were also the only company I'd ever seen that actually had their own tires.
Yeah. Yeah.
God.
You need to do that for rentals.
Yeah.
Have a storage unit full of tires and wheels.
My god, that
Swap them out.
That Davis office was something else. Like literally you'd go there and people would roll up and be dropping off their samples, and then people would be rolling out with new equipment, and then you had like lineups. You literally had a whole parking lot full of rentals. The ones that you couldn't take out were the ones with the regular tires, and then like there's another side for trucks with tires.
Yeah.
And then they had dudes there in the parking lot making screens and repairing them.
Nice.
My god, that was like my god, it's like no wonder. Like when you compare it to some other companies like Pack Leg.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thanks a lot, everybody.
Yeah.
Thanks, Carl. Thanks, Erica,
Yeah.
for joining in, and thanks everybody else who weren't able to see because Facebook doesn't show us exactly who's on here in this interface. So.
Oh, and don't forget to follow us on Instagram and Twitter, because I'm definitely going to be doing stuff on there.
Yes, Ark Podnet on both of those resources,
Yeah.
and thanks for following us here. Go over to Richie's YouTube channel
Happy archaeology fun time.
and hit subscribe, and see all the shows when he gets them posted, if he ever does. He's like 12 behind.
I know. Well, the thing is, it's like, half of it is me, but most of it is YouTube.
I know. I hear you.
It's like, my god.
All right. Thanks a lot, everybody.
Yeah.
We're out.
Oh, wait. I was about to hit the stop streaming there. But that is not right.
Richie hasn't done this in a week, and he needs to remember how to do it. Bye.
Haha. Neat.